Do you think we have?
Yeah, I think that's beyond. Because I think humanity is helpless against Satan.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You think they're helpless, and define helpless, so like they can't, like I want to make sure I know the
they
definition.
Can't help being deceived. They can't help falling for the false promises that are offered and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Evil. So yeah, I think.
Huh. So, and there's no remedy to that. There's no
Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit would be, in your eyes, is the only way to not be able to get deceived.
It's God in you, and what can evil do when the Holy Spirit's in you?
Come on, but let's talk on this. Let's dive into this because this is important. And again, I'm not. This is where I kind of disagree. So let's say that is the case. So the Holy Spirit does prevent you from being deceived.
No, you can choose not to obey.
Okay.
The Holy Spirit.
Okay.
It's not like you become a robot.
Okay. Because I was my rebuttal to that was, okay, well, why is it still happening?
Right.
Okay. But you're saying it could still happen. So what is the point of it then?
What would you be? The Holy Spirit is to enable people with the Holy Spirit to conquer that evil in them.
Let me ask you, can it happen without the Holy Spirit?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. Wait. There's episodes in the Old Testament where certain people were, God judged them as righteous without the Holy Spirit. Then, so yeah, it would be.
And then I think about people in other parts of the world that you said that aren't, the culture is different. I can't, even though I don't know factually, as I travel more abroad, I will. And I'm not gonna overpromise anything, but if I continue to level up, dude, I'd bring you to another part of the country with me. And we could have these high intellectual conversations. Obviously, we need a lot of growth and money, but I'd be more than open to, come on, let's fucking go. Let's hit up whatever country to have this discussion. But, you know, what do you think is the remedy to someone, well, let's say in Russia or
let's
China?
Suppose somebody in Russia.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts with, and there's a Bible verse in the Old Testament that says this. For somebody to come to God, they must first believe that He is.
Okay.
Well, that goes back to
awareness.
Intelligent designer, and they believe, okay, so there's this higher, and I think an AI would go through this process. AI realizes there's an intelligent designer, a million times more intelligent than the internet that it's relying on for its information. You ask it, well, do you want to tap into that intelligence? The AI would logically say, yeah, I want the best information I can get. So the AI would choose to try to contact that superior intelligence, if it could.
If it, you know, hypothetically speaking, if it could, you're saying, right? You don't think it can, right?
But the Bible's saying,
just making sure I understand.
For a person to go to God,
they have to accept it. They have to say yes.
They have to believe that He is.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're connected just because they believe He is. It just means, then the next choice. Well, what did it say? What? Now you have to do some investigation, or you wait. You would have to assume that intelligent designer knows somebody is wanting to know. Can send the information to them for the next step. What's the next step after they're in Russia, middle of nowhere, and then all of a sudden they hear somebody talking about this kind of stuff, and they're open to it now. Before they wouldn't have been open to it. They didn't believe God was, so anything to do with that. There's no intelligent designer. Okay. Where did life come from? Primordial soup. That's stupid. That's just plain stupid. Too complex.
I guess, so let me ask you this. What is the ramification of not believing it? What's your perspective of that? If you don't know, that's okay, but as of now, what's the ramification of if
totally
you don't?
Time and time after time rejecting that intelligent designer and saying, I'm going to live my... Well, I think when you come face to face with that intelligent designer, you would say, and go the other way.
Okay.
And there's only one other way.
Okay.
So you would do it.
So you
Your
believe the
own
heaven
will.
and hell. You believe in the heaven and hell.
Yeah, Jesus taught about it and said it. So
Okay.
yeah.
So if somebody was not brought to their awareness, if somebody didn't get the message,
Huh.
you wouldn't say they go to hell. You would say they'd make that decision when they
I
face.
would blame God for how come you didn't. You knew that they
Okay.
wanted to hear and you didn't send them anybody.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. See, and that's another aspect of Jesus' teachings was that.
To me, it's just limited to us, to people that are. I don't. Infinite intelligence, I don't think will limit its awareness.
Oh, it doesn't
To
prevent
us,
good
to-
and evil either. And intelligence, that's what everybody's afraid of AI, that it would choose to do evil. And, well, if it ever does and it has that superior intelligence, then yeah, you gotta look out. It's evil and superior intelligence together. Yeah, that's something to worry about.
How much of this do you think is just man finding ways to manipulate and control other men versus just manipulating
Well,
themselves
I
and
would
controlling
call that
themselves?
an evil person that's trying to do that.
Yeah.
So if they're using AI, would be a tool. You can use any tool to do good or evil.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would expect AI to be used for evil, and I'd expect it to be used for good. And that's okay. No big deal. No big revelation. That's the way it's always been. So why the big fear factor over AI? It's another tool.
Yeah. I actually.
Another one.
I mean, Christianity within itself, the Holy Spirit, on a grand scale, could also be looked at as a tool.
Yeah,
To
but
put it to practical terms, it's like, well, technically, that's what it also is. It's
Yeah.
a tool to get to an end result, to lead, whether it's good or bad. Obviously, in the case of the Holy Spirit, macroly speaking, it's to lead people to good. That's the purpose behind it.
Yeah, good as the creator determines what's good and what isn't. See,
Yeah.
that's the issue. Is do we want to define good in our own terms, or do we
What?
accept his definition of what's good? And
Let me ask you, bro. And this is a little more private. You know, if at any point you're like, nigga, I don't want to talk about that, that's cool. Or I could turn the camera. But I don't want to get too much into your own life. But how much of is it by choice? Is it something you could adjust? You choose not to, without giving too much detail. How much control do you think you have of where you are, where you want to go, being that you've been in other places before? I know your background, been in real estate, you understand sales, business.
been in other countries.
Yeah. So like, and I'll give you a little context as well. I got a sense of freedom as well, and you're more free than, I know for a fact, you're more free than half of us motherfuckers out here, for a fact. So like, you know, can you talk a little bit about that? And I don't know, just talk a little bit about, do you think that's, well, like, you're a good person, from my perspective,
I
right?
think the key to all that is truth, and you got to be wanting truth. And there's verses that said people prefer a lie. So yeah, that goes into our currency. Cryptocurrency is a choice. Nobody forces you to use crypto.